Welcome to Markets Now. I'm Michelle Rook along with Vince Boddicer with Farmers Trading Company. Mixed trading grain and livestock futures here were higher except for soybeans and the hog market. And Vince, let's talk about the corn market here. We got a export sale to Mexico this morning, but how much of this is just a little bit of a short covering bounce and some help from the wheat market?
I think it's both. You looked good Friday morning, and then you started to sell off. Of course, we did find resistance at 489 to 490 in Dees, which you will likely continue to do. We still need, I think, at least two closes over $5 to think you're going to go anyplace. Otherwise, the lower 470s to around 490 is a range that I think we can stay in for a while.
Were you disappointed that we weren't able to trade higher on Friday after the stocks report because it was a little bit friendly? But we kind of got sucked down by the government shutdown fears, didn't we?
I think that's part of it. Wheat was part of it. Beans were part of it. But what was it? 68 million bushels less than they thought. Not anything that's earth shattering. If you just said 150 million or 200 or 300 as they do it sometimes, then I think you look at it as something that would have been a bit more determining, but I think it was nothing more than at least it was a negative. So let's follow everybody else.
You bet. And of course, the wheat market, we made some new lows in portions of the complex on Friday. So is today just a little short covering?
I think that's all you can look at it for now. Should we be coming into some points, as we noted, there is some divergence on stochastics on the charts. Seasonally, you're at a time frame where you stood can't get it to rally, but our biggest problem remains, and until it changes, that we're not the most competitive in the world, it's going to be hard to sell much.
Yeah, exports have been down year over year, and export inspections this morning were also down year over year, weren't they?
Yes.
Definitely have a problem there. And soybeans, what do you think there? We made some new lows for the move. We've been seeing some harvest pressure, but do you think that low is going to hold here?
I think you just got to watch it day by day. When they closed on Friday the way they did below 1282 and a half, I think it opened up the door for anywhere from testing that 1256 low down to 1160. And I hope we don't have to test the 1160. Could the overnight low been it? It may have been, but I'm just not sure yet. As we noted, seasonally, somewhere between the 3rd and the 10th of October, we'd usually bottom. The other thing that I think we need to watch is Friday was a full moon, and usually you like to buy grains on a full moon, but nothing there yet to confirm that we're out of the woods.
So when we make our harvest low, though, we usually get a pretty nice appreciation in price right away, don't we? Or at least into November, I think you told me.
Yeah, typically I look at it and figure from whatever you put that low in, you can look for an 80 to a $1.20 rally into mid-November. Once in a while it fails, but not very often. So again, if we put a low in and you're harvesting and you're going to sell it, it may be a place for re-ownership. Or if you're not one that wants to do that, it may be looking at paying a little bit of money for commercial storage for a month or two, but I'm not sure I go any longer than that.
Yeah. And a little bounce in the cattle here. Nice to see after it looked like that market last week was trading the government shutdown fears.
It was. Thursday was that wonderful rally you had in there, and that was probably a selling opportunity, at least short term. Not really is going to come down to with the government not shut down until mid-November, so you got 6 weeks or whatever it is to play the game again. Then we have to see what does cash do. Seasonally get some weakness into mid-October, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some more weakness in here. But I think you take it day at a time and just see how aggressive that packer needs to be with demand.
Yeah, Vince, do you think that all these markets, at least on the ag side of things, I'm not even sure the outside markets are feeling like there's relief, but the ag markets feel like there's a little relief that we avoided a government shutdown anyways?
Yes, and I think cattle is the one that is usually going to get affected most by that, just from what they believe the consumer will do. But I think there was definitely some air of that came into the grains also as we got past the report, and it wasn't friendly for wheat or beans. But will it give us a big boost? I'm not sure. I think it really has to do it on their own, but at least we get rid of some further pressure.
Yeah, some pressure. And do you still feel like this was a correction in an otherwise bigger bull market in cattle?
At present time, I think it was, yes. There should be some more to go. If we can't take this bull market any longer than that with the current cow numbers that we have, we're in trouble. But demand and is still be the biggest thing as it always is, along with is there some unforeseen news, some black swan event that does take us lower. But otherwise, yes, I think we should see higher prices into late winter, early spring.
Yeah. And hog market back down again here today. And we're still kind of feeling the hangover of the hogs and pigs report or not?
That's what it looks like. And that may be a longer term effect. And we all know sow numbers were down. We didn't get really anything in there that confirmed that you didn't have gilt retention. And maybe you did from the standpoint that we had over 1% larger numbers in all those categories as far as weights go. But time will tell us where we go from there. That pigs per litter, in the absence of any disease, I think definitely helped offset that lower sow number.
Yeah. So do you think we have a lot of downside risk here in this hog market?
I think you really have to watch that the December around $77. You start closing below that, then you may have some more weakness. Otherwise, one would think that should be pretty good support.
Okay. Pleasure to visit with you as always. Vince Boddicer with Farmers Trading Company, and that's Markets Now.